You all ready? All right. We'll call this meeting to order, March 16th, 2026, and I've asked Mr. Crosby to lead us in prayer and Mr. Langford to lead us in the flag. Please stand.
So I'm going to take a moment before I pray. Probably shouldn't say this before I pray, but let's remember Kendrick Thomas. He had his heart surgery at one of our commissioners and doing well. But today, a lot of people may know his wife had a stroke and she is being moved to the hospice in Chiefland, possibly as we speak. So let's remember that family. And there's a lot of other families right now in Gilchrist County that's really seems like there's a dark cloud. So let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, you know our needs. You help us each and every day get through all the days. Dear Lord, we pray that you'll continue to help us, especially at these times. It just sort of seem to be a lot happening and real dark around us, dear Lord. But we know if we trust you, that you will get us through it and help us through it. Dear Lord, as we go through this meeting today, we pray that the things we do here will always better our community and that we will conduct ourselves in a way that is well-pleasing to thee. We thank you for those who have fought for this freedom we have and those that continue to fight. And dear Lord, we just ask you to continue to lift those families up that have lost loved ones recently and those that are in the process. Dear Lord, we just ask you for your help and your guidance. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Address the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We want to welcome everyone to our meeting today. We appreciate you being here, and we've got, it looks like I'll say a shorter agenda, and but we never know how things are going to turn out, but we will work through that. And as Mr. Crosby mentioned, we definitely want to continue to remember the Thomas family and also the Heaton family, and there are others around that need our prayers and our support. So I know Gilchrist County is very good about that, and we will continue to work to help where we can help. Any agenda changes?
I have none, Mr. Chairman.
I have one, Mr. Chairman, under my attorney agenda. There should be a change to add opioid settlement for 6 remnant defendants.
Okay. And I think Ms. Karen said that had been added. Okay. So we've got that covered.
So she got it on there already.
Yes, sir.
She's ahead of the game.
She's
great.
always ahead of us, isn't she?
She's great.
I move to approve the agenda with the noted change.
Second.
All right. Have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented. Any discussion? Do you have something?
I do not.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So all those in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Everybody had a chance to look at the consent agenda. Any questions related to that?
Motion to approve.
Okay. Have a motion
Second.
and a second to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Consent agenda passes. Okay, we come to the part of our agenda where we have opportunity for the public to provide input on any items that are not on our agenda. Do we have anybody at this time? Yes, ma'am. Hey, Tammy.
Amy Hale from Bell. We had a presentation today by the Swanee River Board, and I just wanted to say a short little piece on this. Like many North Florida residents, I'm deeply concerned about the Water First North Florida project injecting water into our Florida aquifer. The aquifer is the source of drinking water for our families, our farms, and our future. Rural communities should not be tasked to take on risks without clear science, full transparency, and legally binding accountability. We must protect this God-given provisions for our family and our future generations. And I just pray we take all of these things into consideration before we make decisions based on things just sound great. Either way, for or against it.
Okay. Thank you, Tammy.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Your input related to that. The Water Management District is having a meeting Thursday evening up in Live Oak, and they invite all that are interested to come to that. And they will cover that way in more depth than we can cover it here. And we also discussed it at our last meeting a little bit, but that's something that lots of folks are interested in and want more information related to that. So thank you for bringing that up.
What time is the meeting on Thursday?
Do you remember, Tammy, what time? I think it's 6 or,
Okay, I'll try and pull it up on their site.
okay.
Mr. Chairman, do you know what authority the local commission would have as far as, is it Swanee River's decision, their project, their decision, and we have no say-so, or would it come down to where the county would approve it or disapprove it?
Yeah, I'm not aware of the county having any authority. They would definitely want to get input, I think, from the counties and the residents. And I think what's the initiative or the driving force, I guess, is the Department of Environmental Protection just adopted a minimum flowing level for the lower Santa Fe and Edge Tutney rivers. And so basically that's to protect the system and the users in the district. And what they found is those systems are not meeting those minimum levels. And so what that law allows, this is probably way more information than we want to get to at this point, but it's the Department of Environmental Protection and the water management districts trying to protect water, and the project is related to that. And it's one of the projects to address the deficit in the water meeting that minimum flow. Yeah.
The meeting will be March 19th from 6 to 8 p.m. In Live Oak. And again, the information that we received today was amazing information, but I do believe that we should offer equal time across the board on both sides. And I'm the devil's advocate person, and so when something sounds too good to be true, there's usually something else in there. And I just would like us all to weigh both sides of everything before making a hasty decision.
Yeah. Thank you, Dave.
And just for everyone's information, it is at the UF IFAS, North Florida Research and Education Center in Live Oak, not
Yeah.
at Swanee River Water Management.
And then the other thing I'll mention is there is a website that has information related to that particular project. You can go to the Water Management District website probably and get to this other one, but I think it's Water First, North Florida Water First. We sent out information, or Bobby did, to the commissioners, and it has a video and background information related to that project. So, all right. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am. Welcome.
My name is Dorothy Lane, and this is Caroline. We are here representing the Bells Community Mission Incorporated.
Okay.
So we have started a food distribution. It's been going on for not quite a year. We are incorporated already. You need to see that paperwork. But not everybody that comes is just from Bell. So we were advised to come before the county. So what's going on is we have it every single Tuesday, every other Friday, and then we get a large truck in from the Bread of the Mighty once a month as well.
Okay.
We've got about 60 boxes. We are up to about 60 boxes that we are passing out.
Wow.
And so we are feeding, we're feeding about 1,000 people per month. All right. So each time that they're coming in, so they're signing up. They have to tell us, there's a code, they have to tell us how many people are in the family and whatnot. So we have a little over 600 is the population in Bell. 25% of that are kids under 15. So we have a lot of parents, mothers, single moms that come in looking for this. So as of right now, those of us that are volunteering are paying for everything. We're paying for gas, we're paying for the big truck. You know, fortunately, we can use the community center. Sometimes that is booked, so then we have to scramble to find some other place to go. We are trying to open a food pantry as well. We are working on that too. So we're just coming to you because we just need help with this. We need help. We've sent in all the paperwork for the solicitation to the state so we can get a permit for that, so that we can then go to businesses, churches and whatnot, and hopefully get some sort of a monthly donation from any of them to help. But the numbers of people are growing. We need to up the amount of food and whatnot that we get in somehow through, and there's, Caroline has looked up a lot of that. So, this year it's cost us at least $5,000 so far, and that's from June. So, and we're figuring minimally, by the time we get done with the year end, it'll be about $7,000 to $8,000. And again, that is just the minimum. That's just $15 for gas for the people that go back and forth. And we're borrowing trucks, we're borrowing trailers. So these are the things we're hoping that we will raise enough money to be able to purchase these things, looking for grants, hoping to get some help from the state, from the county, from the town.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for the information. We appreciate what you're doing, and sounds like a great effort to help our community. And I guess what we would need to do is evaluate what possibilities there are grant-wise, Bobby, or?
Well, this is why we're here. We want to know, what do we have to do now? So
Okay.
to go forward, what is it that you need from us so that we can all be on board here? And then I can go back to the town and say, oh, okay, so the county is in with us too. So-
Miss Dorothy, when you were in Bell, though, I thought that you were looking for a building because you had gotten a grant for a walk-in cooler.
One had been presented to us, it was, if we had it set up, the grant was available to us. We are now.
That ship has sailed?
What's that?
That ship has sailed?
Well, we don't know. We
I
don't
think
know.
the possibility of that particular grant at this time is gone, but there's other grants out there that are available, and we'll seek out what we can find, but.
Gotcha.
We'd like to have a building that is ours, that we can use for the food distribution, for the food pantry, and they have one in town which needs a lot of work, so that's the other thing. And Bell seemed to be willing, but it's like, how do we do that? You put the cart before the horse. Do you go into this building and start redoing it for a food pantry? I mean, we know what the requirements are, so we're just.
I think the process would be, y'all actually give some money already to purchase food, and I think maybe those checks actually get made out to the bread of the mighty. I'm not sure who we make,
They do.
we do, but if, to move forward, I think what they probably should do is submit a letter to either me or the clerk's office. Either one would be fine. And then we'll include it in our budget process when we do our budgets this year. But currently, y'all have funding budgeted to support one of the food banks in the county already. I'm not saying you not support another one. I'm just saying that you do have a program in place where you're supporting. We can look at it through the budget process of how you want to change or add or whatever, but that would be, I think that would be the correct process at this point moving forward.
So a
I would
formal
agree.
letter, so we need, as our mission, we need to write you a formal letter.
Yes, ma'am.
Introducing ourselves and seeing what you can do, if you can help us.
And we typically request that you get any letters or request in by June 1st. So it gives you a little bit of time to get it in by June 1st.
Oh, okay, great, that's pretty much what we wanted to know, is exactly what we need to do at this point to really get this off the ground and keep it going. We don't wanna have to fold, there's just too many people. And
Right.
again,
You've got lots of volunteers, right? How many volunteers do you have?
It all depends, because some people are working, so, I mean, there's 8, I would say
I'd say
probably
8
that,
to
yeah,
10, right?
Good. Well, thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Say, the city of Bell has offered you a building?
Well, right now we're in the community center, but there's a building behind where the train station is.
Right,
that
that
right now they're using.
It used to
for-
be an old clubhouse.
Exactly,
right.
and they're just using it for storage.
They didn't offer it because, as the lady said, there were so many things that had to be brought up to speed, up to code to be able to utilize it.
Oh, I was fixing to say, okay.
Once our paperwork comes in, we've gotten the ability to solicit, that will also
Right.
give us the opportunity to go for the grants to help
Right.
bring it up to where we need it to be.
And go in and see the building, see exactly, so, she's looked it all up, we know what the requirements are to have a food pantry. So we need to go into that building and say, oh, okay, this is what has to get done, and then start figuring all of that out, so, but wherever we can get help to move forward, this is what we're trying to do.
Thank you for coming today. And-
Thank you.
Ms. Wynn, I'm not sure if Mr. Newton has one of his cards or not, but my email's on there. If you want to send it to me, I can share it with
Okay.
them.
Terrific.
And then that way it gets added into our budget process when you get it
Thank you
ready.
very much, thank you for your time.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you.
Anybody else from the public? Not seeing anyone, so we'll move on to, I saw Sheriff Schultz is here. Would you like to come up and give us an update, sir? We appreciate you being here. No, we're thankful for all the leadership and your work and support, sir.
Bobby Schultz, Sheriff. Just going to give you an update. I got told, I've been working on something the past couple, probably about a month. The Reader Digest version is the state is trying to recalculate their formula for safe schools money, and how that affects the sheriff's offices is currently the school district gives us $252,000, which is roughly 48% of the personnel services for our school resource deputies. And Ms. Geiger, superintendent of schools, has told me that if we can't get this resolved, that one of their options is to cut the funding to the sheriff's office because they don't have the money. Everybody's in a financial crunch. I have talked to our delegation. I've talked to a lot of people in Tallahassee, and this is something that's outside of a lot of our control. They postponed the budget process to have a special session, so this is still on the table. The answer that I've been given was, well, they're going to remember the financial constrained counties. But no, not telling us how they're going to remember us and how they're going to take care of the shortfall that we're going to experience. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying that the superintendent schools are going to cut our funding, but all that money is allocated. And it is the school district's responsibility to cover school security. It is not the sheriff's. However, we all work together. And while the county bears about 56% of the cost, and that is not counting overtime. The county accrues all that, takes care of that for ball games and special events. $252,000 is a lot of money to lose. And I personally, if that does go and they do not give us money, since it's sustainable, then I won't be able to have 2 school resource stations. I just won't be able to cover that. Hopefully it's not a problem, but if the county knows anybody in Tallahassee, I believe Representative Schoaf is one of the sponsors of the bill. I cannot get him to return my phone calls. I've talked to the sheriffs over there, the financial constrained counties there. He's a busy guy, this committee, so that's not a slight on him. I have talked to Representative Johnson, who's been in contact with him, and just doesn't have a whole lot. When I talked to him, it was in committee. I didn't think it passed the Senate, but it's still in the budget. So when they come back, they'll be discussing it. So I'm trying to figure out a way to get up there to have a say-so with some of the other sheriffs, but all I get told is don't worry about it. So we've got to work. We've got to work.
So they've funded it in the past, the school has, but this year they're saying they may not be able to fund it.
And no one can tell me why they restructured this.
So the state restructured?
The state is, yes.
Okay.
They're wanting to, I don't know, I'm not smart enough to tell you because it's school district issues. They allot so much money. Right now, the school district gets roughly $480,000 of safe school monies. And out of that $480,000, they give me $252,000.
Which they're required to. They have to fund that.
They don't. They have options, which is private security, guardian program,
Okay.
or things like that, or contract with me. And I am by far the cheapest route and the most practical. So if they take that money and there's no set way of how they're going to recuperate that money, the school district does not know how they're going to continue and how they're going to make the cuts. Again, it's kind of dramatic, but that is, I was texting her before I come up here to make sure nothing changed. So I owe that to you because then I have some decisions, and of course, Board of County Commissioners will have a decision of how we're going to do that. Now, the deal would be we have 2 resource deputies like they used to have, covering 2 schools, which I am not a fan of, but the people at large are not going to understand why we're standing back in a time where we have all these problems because of money.
Yeah, but I mean, this is something the school has to come up with, not us. The
Theoretically,
252.
Absolutely, it is the school district's responsibility by statute to provide security for their school.
I mean, and we've already paid, what, you said 60-something%.
Roughly, I'd probably say 56% right now. That's not counting overtime. I don't know how much my overtime is, but it's significant. But that's a lot of money, and we're right on par with what other counties get paid from the school district. And there's 9 other school districts that are going to be in the same situation that we're in. Taylor, Dixie, Lafayette, Madison, Jefferson. And I spoke to them, and they've talked to their delegations, and it's not really getting a lot of answers, which is kind of unusual. I don't know what brought this up. I just got told that leadership was wanting this. That's what I was told. Leadership wanted it. So we're gonna be putting a lot of hope that, like the tax stuff, is that if they reduce the taxes and all that stuff they're talking about, that they're gonna take care of the financial constrained counties, even though they're not telling us how they're gonna take care of it. It's what that looks like. It leaves us with a whole lot of what ifs, and part of my job is forecasting the future of what could happen. And what could happen is the district not fund us, and I've got to let go 2 people and not cover the schools as it's covered right now. And we would be statistically or statutorily, they would be with guardians. You have to have 1 guardian at a school, or they'd have to pay their private security, which is a lot more than what they pay us. If they can't come up with $252,000, they're not going to come up with something to do with security.
Now, will you be going to their meeting tomorrow night and
I get
explain
everywhere I can get.
to the school board meeting to let them know
Well,
what's going to
they're
happen?
well aware. They're well aware. I've been talking to Mrs. McRoy, Mrs. Geiger, and I've talked to 3 school board members at this point. So they're all aware. They don't have no answers either. They're just kind of waiting to see what they're going to do. So,
We appreciate you bringing
Thank
that to our attention. So right now, the county is, through you, are contributing 56% roughly to the security for the schools, and you're just making sure that we're aware that the school's saying that they may not have the funds to make up the difference. Okay.
thank you for putting all that together.
Now, I'm just trying to understand it,
That's
and
exactly what it does.
I can't believe that wouldn't be a high priority for
can't
the school and the state.
It is a very high priority to the school district.
Yeah, I'm sure it
They
is.
they have tried to reach out to everybody, and they're basically getting told, don't worry about it, it'll work out. But,
Bobby, are they required to have,
Yeah.
required by law to have at least one of these schools?
they're required to have security. Again, they have to have a guardian, they have to have either that, or they have to have a deputy sheriff, or they have to have a licensed gun-toting security.
So they have to have some type of security
They
by
have
law.
got to have them during regular school hours. There's lots of misnomers, like the sheriff, a lot of people say, well, the sheriff doesn't have everybody at the middle school games and the band stuff. Well, we're not required to do it. We do it as much as we can.
Right.
The school district,
Yeah.
they're required to have somebody during regular school hours. And to do that, Richard probably knows how much we're paying now, but just on personnel services, that's not counting cars, training, everything else, it's over $360,000. We're just paying for salaries for those 4 or 5 deputies that we had. So $252,000 is basically 2 positions. That's where we're at.
I'm all in working together. We've done it in the past, we've always done it, but, I mean, I hope it works out like they say it's going to. But I appreciate you coming and telling us what happens if it don't.
And that's where I'm at, because then I have got to decide, and I'll come and speak with y'all again if the worst case scenario happens, but, I thought it'd already be over.
And they'll have to decide too how they want to handle that.
Well, what their answer is gonna be legally is where do we have our, guardian program, which we do
Right.
have.
We do.
So we go a little bit above and beyond, and they do, so they pay me, and they have a guardian at the schools, guardians. But that's not something that I think that anybody would want, is to just say, having somebody there who has a weapon that nobody knows, and relying on response times from us to get from point A to point B, when they're used to having, at least barely since the last 13 years, going on 14, they've had a school deputy in every school. It's hard to go backwards, and that is a possibility. So I'm not asking for money. I'm just simply saying put that, that is something that we may be facing with probably by the end of the school year. We will know something then. So
Yeah.
if you know anybody in Tallahassee, if anybody knows, Representative Sho, reach out to them and ask them where this goes and if they are gonna pass this, whatever, I can't figure out, nobody can tell me why they're doing it.
So, but
we have-
Representative Schoaf is sponsoring a bill that would help resolve this issue? Not. He's leading the charge to change the formula, and he represents rural counties? Okay.
It's,
What county is he from, Bobby, do you know?
To the west of us, basically the representative.
Jefferson,
Okay, so he's out in the Panhandle
yeah,
area.
it's the Big Bend area that he represents.
If you can't-
He's got, ours has 3 counties, 2.5 counties, I think he's got like 6 or so.
Yeah, I think he's from Lafayette to say Wakulla.
We ought to know somebody out in that area, North Florida.
I just got, well, never mind, that's in June, it's gonna be too late. I was gonna say, he's gonna be at a Progress Energy meeting in June.
In Taylor County.
Yeah.
Very.
But June's gonna be too late.
I've heard rumors what this is about, which has nothing to do with us, and I think it's, well, I'm not gonna say what I think it is. I think that there's ways to fix their problems that they're having with some of these school districts and how they spend their money, and having to force us, then it's, I don't think it's appropriate. I think there's ways of handling it, and just basically, we're gonna fix this, and instead of going after the individual districts who are not appropriating their money correctly, and fixing that, there's gonna be a one-size-fits-all, and then the answer to the financial counties is, we know you're gonna be at the problem, we'll help take care of that. Well, how will we take care of that? How are you gonna come up with $252,000 plus trying to say it's 60% is what we try to be, and there's no answer to that. Sounds like a doom and gloom, and I'm sorry for taking so much time, but it is pretty important. That's $250,000, and we don't have it, and I don't think that the school district has it.
No. So if you can't get a hold of him, how in the world would I? You're the sheriff. No, I'll contact Chad Johnson and
I talked to him about a week and a half ago. He had talked, and basically the last thing he heard that was Representative Schoaf was going to bring it back to our concerns to the committee, and I haven't heard back.
okay.
And basically, I was told that it was a leadership issue. No one knows it.
Right.
And at least that's what's been told to me. There may be more information out there. Feel free to reach out.
Yeah.
The best I can tell real quickly, just digging into this, it looks like it's in the House, or it's in the Senate Appropriations Bill. But if I'm looking at it right, it's not in the House bill. So that's the issue, is that the House is not currently covering it.
Right.
And
That's how I understood. They were going to pass it. They were hoping that the Senate would kill it and on their monies. But even then, you have to, I mean, there is money. I don't know how all that works, but that's a lot of money. And it ain't just us.
Right.
Yeah.
Lafayette is 300-something thousand. Jefferson County is around what we have. Madison's about what we have. That's a lot. That's we need to come up with continuously. So, unless y'all have any questions, that's my good news for today.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for
Thank you.
all
Thank
your
you,
work.
Bobby.
Yep. All right. I think we're ready for our county administrator items. Bobby, you ready?
Yes, sir. My first item is under number 6, emergency management. I'm going to ask Mr. Smith if he'll help me with these as well. The first one is a mitigation grant for a sheriff's office safe room and generator, and that's in the amount of $88,254.40. And I'll let Mr. Smith explain to you what that all is.
So Ralph Smith, Emergency Management. So we had an opportunity to apply for a hazard mitigation grant. The only thing that was eligible to apply with building a building was to build a safe room. So it has to meet basically the same exact building as the EOC does. We were able to apply for the grant. We got approved for phase 1, which is the $88,000 to do the design on the new dispatch center for the sheriff's office.
That's 100% grant covers.
So this one will be $88,000. The next one will be the match money that we got waived on. So
The match money that what?
that we got waived.
Okay. Where's this gonna be built at?
It'll be down at the sheriff's office.
This is for the hardening
No, ma'am, this is for a brand new building that's considered a safe room.
of brand new
And
building.
dispatch.
The dispatch will be the primary source in it.
Okay. Any other questions or concerns? About anybody, what's the pleasure of the board?
Move that we approve the grant agreement for the mitigation equipment, mitigation building? Is that what,
This is phase one design.
phase one design?
Yes, sir.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to move forward with a grant agreement for the hardening room at the sheriff's office. Any other discussion or questions? If not, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And as Mr. Smith stated, the next one's for $27,579.50. When they waive the match, they do a grant. They give you the money back in a grant form. So
So I have a question. So, even down the road, this is not gonna cost us anything?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
So we originally would have to pay this $27,579.50. But the state had some extra money in the mitigation program. And so we were able to apply for that and we got that. So it's 100%.
All right, good
And that's
deal.
already
But this is
approved.
just for the planning,
Already
right?
Yes,
approved.
ma'am.
This is for the planning.
Everything, it's gonna go through as soon as, when we go to phase two, we'll have a contract and then a waiver contract.
Okay,
So
so
we-
to build it, it's gonna cost $0,
Under my understanding, yes, ma'am.
under your understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
But
As
right
long
now, all
as
you're
they
doing
have
is the
money.
design. You'll have to talk about
This
the
is the
building.
design right now.
Yes.
Okay,
So you wouldn't have, if it cost you, it should not cost us anything based on what they told us.
Okay.
If something changed and it did, then y'all would have the option to not build it
Okay.
or match it, okay? This is just design.
The other, as I understand it, big advantage of this is before, when a hurricane came, everybody went to the EOC.
Yes, yes, sir.
This will allow dispatch to stay.
Dispatch, if we get this building, would never have to leave their building,
Okay.
so.
okay.
I'll make a motion, we approve the grant,
Okay, have a motion
waiver grant.
to approve the,
I'll second the
Yep.
waiver.
and a second. Any other questions? If not, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for searching all this stuff up.
Yeah.
Anytime we can get $100,000 in grant money to help improve our facilities, and it doesn't cost us anything, yet it's gonna benefit the residents, I'm all for it.
All right. Mr.
Next
Crosby.
item is number 7 under Road Department. We have the construction agreement, which Mr. Lang has reviewed. It's in the amount of $1,713,750.49. This is with Anderson Columbia for the paving of Northeast 30th, better known as Dixie Grade, from State Road 47 to 58 Terrace.
Okay, anybody got questions related to, we've talked about this in the past, I know last meeting and maybe the one before, but anybody got questions related to this project?
Yeah, I do. Talking with DOT a little bit. Could we, and I guess this might be a question for Mr. Pittman back there, could we reduce that asphalt from 2 inches to 1.5 inches and make it go further and pave more road? Would it behoove us to do that?
Well, you got two things going on here. Absolutely. We've already got, engineers is already working on that. I already have the price back of what that would reduce it, how far, much further it would carry it. I'm currently waiting on a price from Central Florida Electric Co-op for moving the power. Once we have that back, then we'll know how much money we have left in the grant. Already spoke to Mr. Paul Webb at DOT, and once we know those numbers, then I've got to talk with him to look to see maybe if we can get another 1/2 mile paving or what out of this. So the part you got to pass today has got to be passed. whether all that other
Yeah.
happens or not, that'll all be change order, through
Yeah.
change orders and that type of thing. So
Right.
we're kind of in the holding pattern on finding out exactly what you're asking about.
Right.
But I wanted to go ahead and get this part
Yeah.
processed so that we can get on the schedule with Anderson Columbia
Mhm.
to be able to get it paved soon as we can.
Yeah, I figured that might could come after the fact, but, and I'm all in favor of approving what we got today, but I'm just, I talked with Ryan that used to work with North Florida Professionals, and of course, he works with DOT now. And that was one of the thoughts that he had, is if we reduce that thickness of the asphalt, we might could make it go further. And my other thought is, once we get this hot mixed asphalt, it'll qualify, even if it didn't hold up as long as it, would with 2 inches, then we'll get it on the scrap program or something and help us
The
out.
original bid was actually turned out to be 2.5 inches.
Yeah,
So basically, if we reduce it to 1.5, we'll get 0.2 miles.
that's good.
So, doesn't sound like a whole lot, but it is a whole lot.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, when
if
you
we can
land-
get the additional from DOT, we should be able to get a half a mile or so more, which will be great.
A good base and an inch and a half of good hot mixed asphalt done right is a good road.
It's not
So
traveled.
I'm willing to stretch it.
It's
as
not
far as I
traveled
can.
by a lot of heavy equipment and trucks, is it? I mean,
Well,
not at this point in time, it isn't.
Your base is really what supports that.
Right.
You you don't want a 1/4 inch of asphalt, but, and you've got people in here that know this a lot better than I do, but I paid real good attention when they talk to me. But that's more gonna come from your base, and Anderson will build your base to the FDOT standards. If you were probably doing a 47 or a 26, you probably wouldn't wanna do it, but you're not.
Yeah.
Even though there's a lot of traffic on that road, it's not.
But it's mostly cars and
It's not
stuff. It's not heavy semis and stuff.
Residential mostly.
Yeah, so it's more residential, so you should be fine
Yeah.
with that,
Bobby,
But,
didn't you say this original amount, if I remember, it was like 2.3, 2.5?
The what now?
The original amount of the grant was like 2.3, was it? It's more than what we're,
I think.
I thought it was 3.5.
No. Well, wait, hang on, let me do it.
This contract is.
for some reason, I thought it
You
was
think
more
about
than
the
what.
whole grant. Well,
what
see,
Anderson-
you got $500,000 estimate on moving power. So if you add that to 1.7, that's 2.2. And
Okay,
then by the time you add
Yeah,
your engineering, you didn't have engineering in this one, by the time you add your CEI and all, and have a little bit over, you're at about 2.5 million. is
yeah,
what you're at.
that's what I was thinking of, originally it was 2.3.
But see, we're still waiting, and the only people to move the power is Central Florida, and they're gonna do it at what it costs
Yeah.
them. So it's not gonna be a markup, but we still have to pay
Right.
that. So,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Okay, any other questions or comments?
I'll make a motion that we approve the construction grant agreement with Anderson Columbia.
Okay, got a motion
Second.
and a second to approve the construction agreement with Anderson Columbia for Northeast 30th Street. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
The next item also refers to the same road, Northeast 30th, Dixie Grade. It'll be the CEI, which is required, be with Pittman Engineering, and the task order is in the amount of $169,120, and that is also covered by the grant.
Okay, any questions?
Motion to approve the task order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And a second. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. And then finally, related to road work, debris removal.
Yes, sir. Mr. Thomason, who is our road superintendent, we've got to do some road prep and cleanup. One of those is Southeast 70th Ave that we just need to take some debris off the side. And then Southeast 80th Ave and 80th Street for chip and seal, but we got a lot of debris there too. He had reached out to Anderson Columbia, who has that dirt mine right there, and they use different dirt for backfill. I also reached out to Mr. Lane just to get clarification. So what we're doing is we're requesting permission to dump the debris removed from the road on these roads at Anderson Columbia location on Southeast 70th Avenue. They're not going to charge us a fee. It'll save us several trips at 40 miles round trip. We have no use for this type of dirt or anything. So it'll be a benefit to the county just in the cost of traveling Everybody knows what fuel's done recently too, so, and manpower, probably even eliminate as many trucks as we would need by just being able to dump there, so. But what we need is approval from the board, and we wanted to show that it is a benefit to the county to do that.
I move to approve the debris removal request with Anderson, Columbia.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Mr. Lang, it sounds like you're comfortable.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that I think it's clear, it should be clear in the record that this overburden or this cleanup material is of no financial benefit to the county whatsoever, and all that this arrangement does is prevents you from having to haul it all the way up to the road department and try to dispose of it up there, when you only got how many miles? Just a few
In
miles.
some cases, it's less than a mile, in some cases, maybe a mile.
And they're willing to do that, and it's not benefiting them at all, and it's not benefiting us, it's just a mutual handshake agreement, basically.
And this would actually have to be hauled all the way to the pit on the north end, just so you would know where.
Rock pit, yeah.
Okay, good. Any other questions? No. Motion and a second to approve the debris removal as described. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to take just a minute and thank Mr. Pittman back there for 138 up there. I know there was engineers on, talked to him several times about it. Excellent job. It's really, really made a nice road. Y'all did a great job. Look forward to working with you again.
Thank you, sir.
You can probably get a speeding ticket on it now, can't
Yeah, you can.
I hope they do. There's the sheriff. I hope they do.
That's a nice road.
It is.
Yes, it is. All right, next is Heart Springs improvement work we're doing their invoice.
Yes, the first one is an invoice in the amount of $153,600. What this is for the product, the dock, the gangway. This has all been built and put together, so a lot of your labor is in the process of building that. The actual dock is there now, and they will be connecting it to the boardwalk soon. So this invoice is amount of $153,600. The reason we placed it here and not in consent, wanted to be sure, I just wanted to double check to make sure this product was where it was supposed to be. And we have done that. And I don't know if the clerk's got any questions. I know he had called me about it on Friday concerned with some of it, but
It has been moved to the location, or,
yes. Yep,
so
dock
everything
and
is
all.
fully
Now,
installed
there
at
may
this
be
point?
one or two items still at their warehouse, but we have been to the warehouse, photoed it, because we didn't want to leave aluminum steel laying at the Heart Springs boat ramp. Yeah.
If we could approve, subject to just confirmation that it's all been completed, based on their invoice.
Yeah. All the items here have been built. They may not be on there, but they have been built.
Right, but some of the language on the invoice indicates that it's for installation. And at this point, I don't know that it's considered installed. So
I see what you're saying.
I'd prefer if we could do it based on,
Okay,
confirmation that it has been installed.
okay. We can do that. But
In
if
other
you'll
words-
go ahead and approve it, because I think we got like 3 weeks before our next meeting, because we have an odd Monday. That way, once we confirm that, we'll be able to pay them.
Okay.
So you're saying approve contingent upon installation?
Correct.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't even realize you came in, Brandon. Brandon is the one that's confirmed that all the stuff has been built, so. I think the clerk's main thing is, they list in here labor for installation of dock and gangway, when they probably should have labeled that labor for building of dock and gangway.
Yeah, it's a little bit, I can understand, but yes, if you're asking how they built it, they were, putting the final pilings in and setting the actual dock in place today.
Okay,
I suppose it was for us right before lunch.
okay.
So, but if you want, I will go up there and verify it, or
Okay.
I'll send you pictures.
That'd be great.
That'd be fine.
Well, if we pass the motion that we've got an invoice, and the check they won't receive the check until there's a verification that it's been
Yeah,
all
just do
done.
that.
But I'll make sure,
Yeah.
whether it's me physically going out there inspecting it or having Forrest send pictures, but like I said, I talked to them earlier, they were out there
Okay.
driving the pilings
Okay.
because we have the river's so low.
Yeah.
Part of the dock, like, actually sits on the, So there's 5 pilot or dock sections, and there's a piece that comes out about 4 foot that the gangway rides on when the water comes up and down. And that piece was actually touching the dirt because it was so shallow. It's not, it's unusual shallow right now, so, but normally that won't be the case, but being that it's extremely shallow, you're just gonna have that happen in extreme cases, but
Okay.
they were setting it all, they had it all mocked up, set, and we're starting to drive the pilings this afternoon and put it in place, so.
Thank you for your help.
I'll make a
And,
motion that we approve the invoice and it'll be paid with verification that it's complete.
Okay, we got a motion
I'll second it.
and a second to approve the invoice with Saltwater Builders for the project at Hart Springs. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
The next one, they sent it in as an invoice, but we need to handle it as a change order. I'm really glad I hate we got, our water levels are so low, but we were able to see a lot on this. And we know, and there's a lot of the pilings that need to be reinforced. And they need to be, they're really in bad shape. So I'm glad we're able to see them just over the period of time. So to reinforce those, well, there's 40 of them we need to reinforce at $1,800 a piece. So that's $72,000. We have the money in the grant. FWC has already approved it. The engineers have approved the plan for the way they'll be doing the work. So it's just, we need to drive those pilings down by the current pilings, which are wood, a lot of them with just concrete around them, but drive these down till you hit a hard surface, and then they'll tie those together with bolts. So,
Okay, any questions?
So it is, the money's there as far as the
Oh,
grant.
yes.
And FWC's already verified everything.
yes, they're the ones that monitor the contract.
I don't like change orders, but I like this and simply for the fact that it's not costing any extra.
Well,
It was really
it's
kinda no way
nice
to know
because the
this when we
water's
did it.
low, so it's
Yeah.
easier to, you can actually see it. Most of the time,
Well-
it would be underwater and you'd never know it. So,
And
it's
we got
good.
the money to fix it.
And we got the buddy to fix it in the grant. So, I move I'll move to approve the change order for the Hart Springs boardwalk.
Okay, we got a motion
Second.
and a second to approve the change order.
Just quick confirmation. Because we put this out for bid, because this is a change order, we should be in good standing, correct?
I would think.
Okay.
Was that yes?
That's a yes.
Okay, sorry.
That's a yes.
I don't have my
I would
hearing
think.
aids in,
Yeah.
so I'm sorry. All right,
I think
sound
you're okay.
like we're good. All right, so we have a motion and
Legally okay.
a second. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All
Mr.
right,
Chairman, that concludes my report today.
thank you, Mr. Crosby. Mr. Lane, the attorney report.
Yes, let's go ahead and take care of the change thing first. Karen, can you put that up? Oh, no, she's ahead of me. This is information that we received concerning the opioid settlement agreement. There were 6 small settlement packages that they put together and called them remnant settlement procedures. I was unfamiliar with this. We have to do something before Monday, May the 4th. So I forwarded all this to Eric Romano, the attorney that's representing Gilchrist County in all these settlement proceedings, and he advised me to have the county go ahead and approve this, that this just basically serving as a cleanup with some of the small settlement providers. So my recommendation, of course, follows what our lead attorney's advice was and suggests that we approve this.
Okay. Any-
And this is all part of the opioids monies we've been getting for the last several years now. And is this the end of it?
No, it's not the end of it. It's still
Okay,
going
it's
on.
just
And Richard's got a
just a
line
bump
item
in the
set
road,
for it.
huh?
It's just, that's right. This is just something that came down. They want to close out these 6 that owe a little bit of money.
All right.
I can't even tell you how much the money is, but they say they're paying us money and it'll be forthcoming. And they've got it set up now that you have to be an IT specialist. Miss Karen is handling this. I forwarded this to her so that she can have Daryl sign electronically to get this taken care of.
Motion to approve.
Okay, got a motion Have a second?
Yeah, second.
A second to approve the opioid settlement agreement. And all those in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, motion passes.
That's the first time that's passed unanimously, because Kendrick's
Yeah,
not here
Kendrick's
today.
not here.
Kendrick would have voted against that.
Yeah.
The next thing I have up is a proclamation, and, you know, we get these rather regularly. This is a proclamation declaring May 8th, 2026 as Child Care Provider Appreciation Day in Gilchrist County, Florida.
And they certainly need appreciation. I'm telling you, those people take care of children are amazing.
I agree.
I see my grandchildren and the daycare workers that work with them are fabulous.
Well, this proclamation was sent over to us from the Early Learning Coalition of the Nature Coast, from Ms. Sandra Woodard, Director of Communications, and asked that the board consider the proclamation and pass the proclamation for them.
Okay.
Motion to approve proclamation.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second to approve the proclamation for Child Care Provider Appreciation Day. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed, motion passes.
Finally, the last thing that I have is that the Career Source, the District 26, whom we're a member of, has requested that the board approve an amendment to the interlocal agreement that we have with among all 6 counties. And this is concerned with changing the requirement of a quorum from 6 members to 4 members. And that's essentially keeping everything else in place except for that. And Ms. Sharon, being a member, had advised me that they were having real difficulty getting all 6 to appear at the same time to constitute a quorum.
So you support?
Yeah, we're all gonna, yeah,
Okay.
we're having, cause one meeting, somebody was out of country. Another one, somebody was sick, we all 6 have to be there.
Yep. You're
So
our
this
representative, so we
We'll
just
require 4, I support it.
All
I'll
right.
make a motion to approve.
have a motion
Second.
and a second to approve the amendment for Career Source. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, motion passes.
Yeah, the technical name, Mr. Chairman, is regarding local workforce development area 26 in the local agreement. But
Thank you, sir.
that's all that I have.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, while we're on that subject with Career Source, we had a meeting recently. Mr. Lang was in it, Mr. Romans, Mr. Newton, and Commissioner Langford, and also Mr.
Larry Thompson.
Thank you. It went I could see his face, but I couldn't get his name to come out. But he was in, and he's a member also.
He's a board member.
He's a board member.
Mr. Thompson, Larry Thompson.
Yeah, Larry Thompson. If you'll remember recently, we were districted differently. Now they've changed the way they've districted. When they got through doing the audit on the old district side, with all the counties involved, they came up with a possible question of costs that may have to be paid back of a little over $241,000. Gilchrist County's part of that would be
Over all the districts.
over all the districts.
And that would be Columbia,
Dixie,
it's
Union,
Columbia,
Bradford.
Union, that's correct.
not Bradford. Bradford wasn't in it at the time.
Union?
That,
Union?
that would be Dixie.
This is the new one that you're
Oh.
looking at.
The old was Dixie, Gilchrist, and Columbia, and then Union.
But our part of it, there is, right now, and they're not through going through the cost, so this could come down, is around $26,000. But that's for many, many years of service that they gave to supporting kids and different programs. So if we did wind up having to pay that, I feel like I personally, and I think some of the rest of us do, feel like we've gotten that service from them. But there are some stuff, there is a way that we can look at some stand-in costs. They've sent us that list. Mr. Newton and I have that list. I think we may all have that list. So at some point, we're gonna go down that list. We have another meeting. We're trying to schedule another meeting for the 27th to meet with them. So we're trying to bring that number down, but we just want to let you know, we may be looking at some point having to pay some or some, but I'll tell you, they've done a lot of work in this community. They had an office here for a while, it left, now they have an office back again. So there's been a lot of activity that if we did have to pay that, we've probably definitely got the money's worth at that amount. But hopefully we can find some stand-in costs. Hopefully they'll find some more reductions on their side, and that'll be down. Not asking you to make any decisions today, just wanted to inform the board.
Okay, and that would come back at our budget, beginning in our budget process, to consider if we needed to pay something?
And we're
We
thinking,
may have to pay it before then.
Yeah, I think it'll probably be before then.
Okay.
But we're gonna do our best. We're hoping we
I
can
think
eliminate
they'll
it.
work with
where
us,
it's
I
not-
really think they'll work with us based upon the meeting that we had.
We're working with the Department of Commerce.
Yeah, Department of Commerce are the people that did the audit on the money that had been spent previously. But just let me say, now Alachua County has the lead and they have their entire financial department supervising each dollar that goes out, it comes in, unlike what was in the old district. So
But there's
This
still
occurring
always a
again
risk.
should-
There's still always a risk, though.
there's always a risk, but
There
but
is.
at least you have more eyes on it than you ever had before and more expertise than you ever had before looking at it.
Okay, we're ready to move to the clerk's report. Mr. Newton?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The only item I have for today is we needed to discuss potential dates for the workshop. With Commissioner Thomas out and not really knowing when he's going to be returning. I've got 3 dates that I was going to throw out there just to consider. One would be Monday, April 20th, possibly doing it prior to our other regular board meeting, like maybe doing it around 3 o'clock. The alternative to that would be doing it on a Thursday, and the 2 dates I would look at for that would be probably the 9th or the 16th.
So we could do it at 3 o'clock on the 20th?
If
That would be
that,
fine with me.
That's fine.
if that
Yeah.
would work for everyone,
Good for me.
and
Is this something we need to invite our supervisor, like the supervisors of each department, like the road department, solid waste, or?
I don't know that it
EOC.
is. Other than just for,
I didn't know if we
education on
needed
the
to start,
process,
looking at ways we could maybe save, or this is just the first step,
yeah,
maybe?
this is really just looking at where we spend our money currently, where we get our revenues from,
Okay.
and, potentially how it's going to affect if we have, what we think might be coming. Not to mention, if we do it the 20th, I don't know that we'll know anything still, because at this point, nothing passed. The Senate and House sine die this past Friday and didn't pass anything. And so at this point, nothing has actually occurred. The House passed something, but the Senate didn't pick it up, and they didn't propose anything. So at this point, there's not even anything for them to agree to. If it were to come back, they're going to have to do a special session.
And I understand from reading that that's what it's gonna come down to. They're gonna have a special session for that.
Well, that's what they've been saying, but at this point, I haven't heard the Senate even say that they're interested.
I know,
So,
I know.
It's
said
really a
nothing.
question of, are they going to pick it up still?
Yeah.
They haven't done nothing from day one.
Right. I received a letter from PRM and our PRM attorney, and, his question is, he thinks it might be too little too late, that they may not be able to get something through this year. But that's just one person's opinion.
Yeah.
I was in a meeting earlier with our chairman of our legislative committee for the clerks. He's starting to think that nothing's going to happen. So, again, in Tallahassee, things can change overnight,
Yeah.
like you just never know. So, at this point, I'm feeling a little bit more confident that it's less likely to happen. However, it still could, but it's going to require a special session. Right now they're scheduled to do a special session specifically for the budget, but they don't have it on the calendar yet to even talk about it. So, again, I think the governor is going to push to try and get it, a special session done, but I think he has to get the Senate and the House on board with having it.
I don't think they're gonna reconvene until mid-April, until after
Correct.
Easter.
The budget appropriations meeting is mid-April, but they still haven't even actually set the date. But mid-April is what they're saying for the budget. So anyway, we'll see what happens. But if the board agrees, I mean, we can go ahead and set for the 20th at 3 o'clock. We can talk about it. And
That's fine.
again, I don't know at this point if we'll know a whole lot as far as what the state's actually doing.
Yeah, even if we don't know, it's still kind of an overview of our budget. It helps us.
Correct. I mean, it's useful information either way, I think, I mean, if they don't move forward with anything, the discussion about the homestead part of it is kind of a moot point, but the rest of it, I think, is pretty valuable information to know. So,
Okay, everybody okay with April the 20th at 3 p.m.?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what we'll do then. Thank you, sir. Anything else?
that's all for today, sir.
All right, we'll go to our commissioner reports. Ms. Langford?
Yeah, the open house for Career Source North Central Florida will be the 25th of March, so not this Wednesday, but the next Wednesday at 11 o'clock at their new location, which is that where the Soil and Water used to be? I just know it as the old Barons and Tennis building, where the Soil and Water building,
Okay, that's the new location.
Right where you turn to go to Ayers.
right where you turn to go to Ayers, right there on the corner. But it will be at 11 o'clock open house.
Okay,
So if y'all can make it, that would be wonderful.
all right. Thank you. Anything
That's
else?
it.
Mr. Langford?
I don't have a whole lot. I haven't rode 138 since Friday morning, but they got another guardrail up, another section. So there's only one more left to do. I'm sure they'll get it, but there's only one more left to do, and they'll have it complete. Should be good. And they may have done it Friday. They were out there, I know, last week working some, but I rode it Friday morning, and they weren't working on that right at the time. They were picking up barrels and stuff. But there is one more section. I take that back. They were grinding some of the concrete, working on it, but it didn't have the guardrail up. It may be up. I've been out of town, so it may be up by now, but it's really looking good. The guardrails went way past what there were before, and they are very professional, very good looking.
Much improved road.
Yes, it is. I had some questions about Dixie Highway, but I've already answered that. And maybe I could ask this question. The drawings on it, how wide it'll be and all that kind of stuff, that'll be coming up in your work. Won't it, Mr. Pittman?
Yes, I will look at it certainly, but it's been designed. But
Yeah.
there are things that I think maybe we should talk about, I'll certainly bring it up.
Yeah, okay.
It was designed by North Florida, and Pittman will be doing the CEI.
Right, okay.
I just wanted to take a quick opportunity just to come up before the board to say that I really thank each of you for the opportunity for Pittman Engineering to work for you on this, and with Mr. Crosby as well. It's just, at my age, I like working for really good clients, and it's just a blessing to be able to work in Gilchrist. So
We
thank you.
appreciate all your work.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
same here. Now, I'm already getting questions about how wide it's gonna be and whether it's gonna have ditches and whether it's gonna have this and I know that's coming, but
Okay.
Yeah, maybe true.
I hate to keep saying I don't know.
Trevor Noyes, North Florida Professional Services. Yeah, I was looking at these plans this morning. As you know, Ryan Asmus was the EOR on this, and he went back to DOT. But the typical sections are showing 20-foot paved lanes
Yeah.
all the way through the
Okay.
entire project. So,
Good.
yes, sir.
Thank you,
That's real
Trevor.
good. Thank you, sir.
2.5 inches
It-
of
it-
asphalt is what's currently listed.
It's wide enough to do that, right?
2.5 inches.
Yeah, it's wide enough to do that.
Yes, sir.
Without-
Well, the electric lines are being moved back, and yes, sir.
Will there be ditches?
As far as the dishes go, I'll have to look back at those plans. I just took a quick look through them this morning.
I think the last answer I got was where they're needed, but not the whole road.
Yes, sir, that's my understanding,
Yeah.
but without taking a closer look,
Right.
I don't want to
Yeah,
tell you
no,
something.
okay. That's good. That's good. Thank you.
Anything else?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Martin?
Yeah, I attended a meeting in Fanning Springs and got a report on their fire and how many times they make a run out of their fire department. And they have done quite a bit of running out of the Fanning Springs Fire Department to cover for some of the areas that Trenton has not been able to get to, and they've run fires from everywhere from actually Cedar Key all the way out to Spring Ridge, and they've run quite a bit of fire down there, and they were just talking about their budget for their fire department and how much they do, and they had all the paperwork to show all the runs they had been made, and they just wanted to let me know they're earning their money, and they're doing a good job out there. Also, some other things that are going on, I did go out and look at the Ag Center, and it's looking really good. They got the drainage ditches out there now, or the drainage pond, and the building's really looking sharp. That is going to be a nice building. I'm really excited about it. Some other things that are going on in the county. I've been driving for Trenton quite a bit with their athletics, and if you like high school athletics right now, Trenton has probably the best baseball team I've ever seen. They're 13-1 right now, and the only school they lost to was a big school in Gainesville, and they just didn't play a good game because they should have beat them. Trenton softball is also, I think, undefeated right now. So if you like high school football, those are, high school sports as far as baseball and softball, Trenton's really good. If you're into the track, Trenton Bell has won most of their track meets there was a track meet a couple weeks ago with 7 schools, and they were the number 1 team there. They've not only with speed and everything else, but their shot put, they got a guy who can throw a steel ball and a disc a long way. So you don't want to get in front of him.
Their soccer team done well too.
The soccer team had a fabulous soccer team this year. So been doing a lot with the high school athletics and driving for the schools, and so that's been fun. And then the last thing is, after you fill your car up with gas or diesel, if you got any more money, the kids are having a big animal sale Wednesday at the Livestock Pavilion in Fannin Springs, and they would love to see some people out there supporting them. And I've been at that some this week, watching my granddaughter show a hog and a lot of other things. So if you can't get a chance to go out there and visit with those kids, and you got any extra money in your pocket on Wednesday, they certainly would appreciate you coming out there and putting that ad on or something on their animals. So other than that, I haven't been busy this week.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Martin. I was going to mention the fair, but you did a good job. And so I know that this community really supports our young people, both schools and fair projects. And so we'll continue to work at doing that. We're down to public participation. Anybody want to come forward here at the end of the meeting and any items we didn't cover? Not seeing anybody. So we appreciate everybody being here. And yes, sir. I thought you were just stretching back there.
And all that good news I was giving you before, on May 5th, we'll be having a memorial ceremony for the fallen deputies, the sheriff and the 3 deputies that were killed in the line of duty in Gilchrist County.
May 4th?
May 5th.
May 5th.
Tuesday, and I think we've got it at 10 o'clock. I'll make sure that y'all have an invitation. It'll be open to the public. We have a couple, hopefully a couple speakers that'll be there. Won't be nothing super complicated, but we will be looking out for members of, I don't know the sheriff's family. I think I know some of the Slaughter family. So if there's somebody in the immediate kin, we would like them to, we have something we're going to try to participate in. It won't be a long, drawn-out ceremony, but it'll be appropriate. It'll be well-deserved for the 4 that have died in the line of duty here.
Where's it
Where's it
gonna
gonna
be
be
at?
Yeah, I'm sorry, it'll be at the sheriff's office. Friends at GCSO paid for the memorial. It's right there in front of the new jail that y'all constructed. And not sure, we think it's gonna be well attended. My understanding is the governor's trying to come, and another popular sheriff is going to be there, so. And on top of our folks, and it's about honoring those men who gave their lives. We also had a meet and greet, whatever you want to call it, in the city of Trenton, talking about law enforcement issues. It goes quite as well as what everybody anticipated, but we'll be doing that in Bell April 2nd. I'll let y'all know that time too. I think that'll be pretty well attended. We kind of got the kinks worked out. Members Mr. Crosby showed up representing the board. I'm not sure if you showed up, there was a few people that showed up. I know Mr. Crosby showed up and talked to some of the people that was there. But we're gonna do it again at the community center.
You're serving steaks or?
We don't have those two.
Two. And the Friends of the Gilchrist Sanitary, that's, no taxpayer money is being used other than the people that's working there. Friends of Gilchrist County Sheriff's Office is providing, dinner with hot dogs, and good hot dogs and snacks. So we will get that publicized, and if y'all want to attend, you can, and we're gonna try to get out either to Fanning and to the Spring Ridge area hopefully by the end of the summer. So, that's a whole lot, and I forgot about that when I was looking at the call.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate
Y'all be
it.
sending out invitations on the phone?
Yes, sir, and I know that I'm talking to, Mr. Cloud Haley on, the sheriff's side. I think he's got some family, but I'm looking for somebody that, if we can find somebody as direct kin as possible, to help do the ceremony. So, if you're on the slaughter side,
I did the Trenton Hall of Fame for Sid Slaughter, who was one of the Florida deputies.
well, I'll combine South.
Daniel's the closest family member that's left. He was in that generation. He's a nephew.
Okay.
I'm a great nephew, but I have the history of a little something we can read.
Okay, yeah, I'll come by and see you, on the next week.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, anything else? Nope. Have a motion to adjourn?
Move we adjourn.
And a second?
Second.
We adjourn.
All right, Commissioner Martin and all y'all, so Coach Fry said it's gonna be $65 a piece, and it's gonna be,